Welcome back, everybody. In today's episode of Cooking with Kirby, we are going to be experimenting. This is a freestyle cook. I do this often. I got 4 pounds of chicken wings. This is Tyson's chicken wings. These are a little bit bigger than your Walmart brand and all that stuff. So I like these. They're a little bit bigger. But the star of this dish is Terramana tequila. I got a couple bottles of this stuff and I just want to give it a try. I want to see if I can make a recipe with it. So I'm going to be needing a 1/4 cup of tequila of your choice, but we're using the Rocks tequila today. And then we're also going to be needing a 1/2 of an onion, white onion, yellow onion, whatever your preference is or whatever you got. I'm going to just go ahead and quarter this into little chunks so that way it's not so hard on my food processor. Go ahead and put that in there. And then about a cup of cilantro. This is gonna add some nice freshness to this. So a cup of uncut cilantro is what we're gonna be adding in there. We're gonna be adding in 4 garlic cloves. Those are small garlic cloves, so if you have some really big garlic cloves, I would probably say about 2 of them. Now, the kicker. I'm gonna be adding in 4 habanero chilies. Now, I kind of calculated about 1 per pound since I got 4 pounds of chicken wings. I went ahead and just do 1 per pound. I'm not scared of the spice, so I'm actually wanting this to be a little spicy. And then a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. That vinegar is gonna enhance some of our flavors. We're gonna be adding in a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Now this is low sodium soy sauce because I am gonna be adding salt to this. So to add a little bit of sweetness, we're gonna be adding in 2 tablespoons of honey. This is gonna add a little bit of sweetness to it, kind of counterbalance that spiciness from the habaneros. But this is gonna be pretty tasty. All right, so usually rule of thumb, I usually season 1 teaspoon of salt, about 1 teaspoon of salt per pound of meat. Since we added a little bit of soy sauce in there, that's low sodium. So what I'll do is I'll actually just go with 1 teaspoon and then 1 heaping teaspoon of salt. Kosher salt. Fine kosher salt is what I use. That way it's not too salty, but I'm gonna be letting this marinate for overnight. This is about 6 o'clock in the afternoon today, and I'm gonna be actually cooking this up as soon as I get home from work. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a blend. I actually forgot one of the main ingredients. See, when I do stuff after work, I start losing my mind. I need lime. We need some lime in there. All right, you can't have tequila and not have lime. So I'm gonna be adding in 2 limes. So yeah, good thing I caught that because this was one of the main ingredients that I was putting in on this recipe when I was thinking about making it. All right, now that we have all of the ingredients in there, let's go ahead and puree this. All right, looks about right. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. Let's see how this tastes. Go ahead and just check for seasoning. I know this is probably gonna be hot. It's actually okay on seasoning. It's not as hot as I thought it was gonna be, but it's got heat. Don't get me wrong, it does have some heat. It's actually creeping up on me right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out my blade. It does have some heat though. I left the seeds and everything in there. So I got a feeling this is gonna be a really good marinade. This was just off the top of my head. So let's go ahead and get this in our bag. All right, so like I said, this is 4 pounds of chicken wings. Let's go ahead and squeeze out as much air as we can. Once you have your Ziploc bag sealed up, you want to make sure that you get the marinade all over your chicken wings. You want to make sure that every single chicken wing has some of that marinade on there. Now, when you do put it in the fridge and you let it sit for a little bit, it's okay to actually take the bag and flip it over. That way you can allow some areas where the marinade's actually steeping to the bottom you can get new areas getting some of that marinade again. So I actually let this marinate for 48 hours, but I would say at least do at least 24 hours of marinating. So in the morning, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this again, and then when I get back from work 2 days later, I'm actually gonna be cooking these up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and power on our pit boss, and we're gonna set this to smoke. And we're gonna change the P setting to P6. Now the wood pellets that I have in here is a mixture of hickory and fruit blend. All right, when you first start your pit boss, you want your lid open. It lets out some really nasty smoke at first, but after about a minute or so, it clears out. As you can see, you got some smoke, really thick smoke coming out. What ends up happening, it ends up turning on like a fan, an extra fan over here, and it clears it all out. So once it starts clearing it out, then we're gonna go ahead and close the lid. But as you can see, that's some really, really thick smoke. All right, once it clears out, we're gonna go ahead and close it up. We're gonna let it come to temp. I'm gonna let it sit for like about 15 minutes, and we're gonna bring the chicken wings out. We're gonna go ahead and lay down our wings. It's up to temp. Now I did let these marinate for 48 hours. So a two-day marinade is gonna be nice and wonderful on these. You're gonna let that flavor just get into all that chicken meat. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close this up. I'm gonna let this smoke for 1 hour total on the P6 setting, but I'm gonna come back in about 30 minutes and I'm gonna rotate the chicken wings. So I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. They're looking good. Starting to get a little crisp on there. So let's just go ahead and give these a flip. And we're gonna let this cook for another 30 minutes before I bump up the temperature. Right now, the pit boss is running about 195 degrees. All right, so I'm gonna give it another 30 minutes, get some more smoke on there. All right, just to kind of see where we're at on these chicken wings. They're not done yet. $127, huh? All right, let's see, let's check another temp. 120s. You know what, I'm gonna just give it a flip. So now that we're getting them all flipped over, I'm gonna go ahead and bump the temperature to about 300 degrees. Let them finish off. They got about 50 degrees. I want to try to see if maybe I could get them to about crispy, some nice crispy wings. I want to say about 185 degrees internally. That should have that skin nice and crispy. But at it's like 200 degrees right now. Yeah, it's not getting that crispy skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and bump the temperature up, and we're gonna close this up, and I'll check back on it in about 30 minutes. All right, so I checked our chicken wings, and they were just a little out of color. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it another 30 minutes. So I went ahead and flipped them and just let them cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and check their temperature right now. I can tell you right now, the color that they got is looking really, really nice. So let's see where we're at on temperature wise. Above 185 degrees. When it comes to chicken wings, look, there's fat content in those wings, okay? If you let them, they can be a little overcooked because they're not gonna be dry like chicken breast. So if you let it cook for a little bit more, like about 185, 190, 195, 200 degrees, you're gonna get a nice crispy skin. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these out. They look nice, and I'm gonna show you what they look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and take them out, and I'll check you guys inside for the taste test. That right there. That's about what you want to get it to, that nice crispy skin. You know, it smells really, really good. But that's where you want to get it to. I've let these rest for like about 8 minutes or so. And as you can see right there, it looks beautiful. That's got a nice color to it, and the smell on it is fantastic. So let's give it a taste. So when I actually tried the marinade, it wasn't too spicy. You know, I've actually had hotter stuff than that, but it's been sitting for 48 hours. Let's give this a try. Cheers, y'all. You actually do feel the heat. I'm not scared of heat, so I mean, it's okay. It's not a like impact, like right in your face type of heat. Kind of like starting to build. Okay, I feel it now. I feel my lips getting a little numb. But the flavor is really good. This has a really good flavor. These wings do have a kick, but they got a nice flavor to it. It's savory, it's spicy, and it's just like a subtle punch to the face. It's not too intense, but it creeps up on you. It does have some heat. I would like to try it with some ranch dressing. So, you know, kind of like, you know, soothe things out, you know, with that spicy and then the creaminess. So, see how that goes. If you're new to my channel, consider hitting the subscribe button. That way you can see future videos just like this. As always, I'll leave the link in the video description and in the comment section, so that way you can go to my website, cookingwithkirby.com, to get the full printable recipe. I have these recipes. They're really good. You should try them out. Now, y'all be beautiful and take care.